Gina from Haunted Flower, and last night I went to a screening for Remember Me. And I was so angry I had to give myself 24 hours to calm down before I could do this review. I think tweens will like this movie. And just as with Twilight, it will teach them bad lessons about what good relationships are supposed to be and send their little hearts a pitter-patter. Remember Me was directed by Alan Coulter and written by Will Fetters. Coulter's directing background has been the movie Hollywoodland and mainly TV up to this point, and this is Fetters' first screenplay. It stars Robert Pattinson as Tyler and Emilie de Ravin as Allie, young lovers who find each other and try to get over the baggage of death in their families together. Funny thing is, for this being the premise of the film, they really don't talk about those people very much with each other and mainly recuperate through passionate sex. This movie is really trying hard to be something great, but is falling short. By casting Pierce Brosnan and Chris Cooper as Tyler and Allie's fathers, the film gained some respectability from their experience, but they are never given nearly enough to do. Pierce Brosnan is a father that shows his love by working hard at his job to support the family, and Pattinson's Tyler resents him for it and takes opportunities to act out in public against him. Ooh, what a seething cigarette-smoking rebel you are. Pierce Brosnan mostly plays it cool as a cucumber, but he is at his best when he finally stops being polite and lets loose with the volume at Pattinson, and I wanted to give him a standing ovation for finally shutting the kid up. Allie points out in a low blow in a fight with her father, played by Chris Cooper, that he is an alcoholic that couldn't save her mom. I almost wanted to cheer a little whenever Cooper resorted to beating up Pattinson for being such a little rich brat. With how mouthy these two young people are, I guess they deserve each other. I found it a little painful to see how much these two young people hurt their parents with their attitudes and didn't even seem to care and blamed it on them. These two characters have had huge tragedies in their lives, and they're incredibly difficult to get over, but I was just having a hard time seeing how these two main characters were truly enriching each other's lives. Young blue-collar girl with the jaded rich kid who is trying to be a rebel and have nothing to do with his dad. Despite being driven together like this, if she lies to him about something minor, he's hurt but he deals with it. If he lies to her about something minor, it's time to grab the bags and leave him despite being together for 3 months. Such a typical romantic drama ploy that's beyond played out. Robert Pattinson's actor tick theater is incredibly distracting. Word. Pause. 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 Word. I am dying here waiting for you to finish a sentence, Robert Pattinson. It got so bad that Emilie de Ravin had to start joining in so they could have a comprehensive scene. How am I supposed to feel for such an angsty, mouthy guy? He's always being talked about as smelling really bad, he never showers, his hair's all over the place, and he has dried blood over his face most of the film, and not in a cool Tyler Durden giving up my possessions kind of way. In spite of all this James Dean wannabe-ness, there were tons of young girls in the audience practically swooning over him. Really, there was very little that was likable about this Tyler character, so this is all Edward Cullen backwash. I just hated Tyler's mouthing off to everyone in tantrums. People are fighting in the alleyway? I'm gonna go punch someone repeatedly for no reason. Ruby Gerrans as Tyler's little artistic genius sister, Caroline, was the best part of this movie. She is so darling and controlled in her line delivery, and this little girl is like the female Haley Joel Osment. So charming. And thank goodness for Tyler's best friend, played by Aiden Hall, who got in some good jokes to lighten up this piece just a little bit. On a side note, it's a little fun watching all these actors try to keep their accents out of this movie and be American. Emilie de Ravin's an Aussie, Pierce Brosnan is Irish, Robert Pattinson is English, and Lena Olin, who you might remember as Sydney Bristow's mother in Alias, is a Swede. Pretty difficult for all of them to keep it even at all times. I'm going to tell you right now, no spoilers. I can't even tell you why I'm mad about this film. This was just an okay film up to the end, and then became a big whopping problem for me, and I was fuming by the time I got home. The ending is the worst sucker punch ever. It's a dirty trick unworthy of this movie, and it made me sick to see it used this way. It's an ambush to the audience, and other critics in the theater felt equally repulsed by this cheap, emotional, slap-in-the-face use of a horrible, tragic event. It's hard for me to talk about this objectively because I'm so angry by it, you can tell. But seriously, the audience that will enjoy this movie will be young girls, probably some of their mothers, and that's mostly the audience that will like this. I do not think this was the movie that is going to get Robert Pattinson to break the Edward Cullen ceiling. That's not happening anytime soon. They're probably going to think he's brilliant just for doing this with his hair. I don't know.
Check out our other movie reviews at hauntedflower.com, your place for fantastic apparel, action figures, and collectibles. Also, you can follow us on Twitter, fan our Facebook page, or add us as a friend on MySpace or Rotten Tomatoes. If you're local to the Indianapolis area, visit indiemojo.com for details on how you can win free screening passes.